Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sunny, and this morning we are at the South Mountain Park in Phoenix for the Arizona Classic Japanese Car Club Sunday Roundup. It's a beautiful morning here, the weather's perfect, and we're gonna take a look and see what everybody brought out this morning. Stick around, we hope you enjoy it. We'll start off with a pair of Mitsubishis. This is an Eclipse on the left. How many of you recognize this gray one on the right? It's one of those cars that just kind of flies under the radar, but it does have a cult following. Its sibling car is the Plymouth Conquest, and I think they're pretty cool actually. Mitsubishi's performance car, Astarion. And I want you to check out this cell phone. This is an absolute brick. If that doesn't say 1980s, then I don't know what does. Nice touch in the Astarion there. We got a pair of Toyota MR2s. I think this red one is, I'm gonna guess around mid-90s. It's definitely a newer model. I'm not an expert on Toyotas, unfortunately. Red pops really well on this car. And then this silver one next to it, this is Steve's. And I definitely prefer the 80s version. It's just a little more angular. I just like the lines on it better. And Steve has several old Toyotas, award-winning cars. Yeah, look at the seats in this one. Interesting headrest there, but definitely an 80s. Here we have Becky's Nissan 240, the Koki Skyline. I know some say kooky. It's one of those tomato things, I guess. Don't hold it against me if I'm a Koki. And this is Isaac's little Datsun Roadster. This is the 2-liter version. It's got the overhead cam 2-liter with a 5-speed. A lot of the guys like the earlier Roadsters with the flat metal dash and the short windshield. So it's a toss-up. I think the holy grail is that 67.5 where they had the best of both worlds, the 2-liter and the flat dash. But of course you're going to pay a pretty price to get a hold of one of those. But Isaac has this one looking really well. Very well sorted. You know, he's got my old Fair Lady too, the one that was totaled, so he's trying to get that one back on the road too. really clean Supra Celica here. And this is another one I would put like in the mid-80s. Gray over gray. If this car hasn't been restored, it has been very well maintained because it presents really well. Super clean. And if you notice, I have to stay on the south side of these cars. If I go over to the north side, my shadow is or no, I got that backwards. I'm on the north side now. If I go over to the south side, I cast a shadow and it ruins the whole picture. This is James RX4. If you didn't see the last video I put out, we covered this car. Took it out in the desert, and he'll drive this one anywhere. He drove it all the way down from Canada. He's got new wheels. I'm kind of liking the gold wheels underneath the green, the kiwi green. And this is a little Daihatsu. Not familiar with these. It's kind of like a K minivan. It is JDM, right-hand drive. And it seats 4. I don't know about trying to climb a steep hill with 4 passengers in this. I don't know. I don't know what kind of performance these put out. I'm guessing this is a late 90s Daihatsu Move. Interesting. But that's the great part about this show, is you never know what you're going to find out here. This one's actually for sale there if you're interested. Oh my goodness. What is going on? It's a miracle. We have snow at the South Mountain, ladies and gentlemen. It is a miracle. It's really coming down. We might need all the horsepower we can find to pull ourselves out of this mess. Unbelievable. Snow at the South Mountain in Phoenix. You never know what you're gonna see. Those are some strong snowflakes. Got a pair of 5 and dimes. With the twins single side draft Hitachi SUs. Super clean. That engine bay. And these were raced a lot back in the day as well. You know, the square kind of boxy body on them, you wouldn't think they would be racers, but Nissan put some power under the hood of these things. They were very fast for their day. Look at the work on the engine bay there. All the holes have been deleted and just a minimalist look. Just super clean. I love the chin spoiler. This is a late model Lexus. I don't necessarily consider this a classic, but I know AZ Big Lou has some other classics. So we're going to throw this one in there too. One day it'll be a classic. Fire engine red. And this is Rolando's 280Z. And he's got all kinds of gadgets. He was telling me about this Bluetooth distributor he's running. he's one of those guys, he's never content. He's always trying to upgrade and make things better. Looking for ways to improve his car. But this one runs great. Another 280Z on the road. And from the taillights, I think, I want to say that's an R32 Skyline GTR. Again, I don't pretend to be an expert on every make and model. I do appreciate him. And he's got a very vibrant color choice for his valve cover there. Looks like he's powder coated. Letting some air into that headlight. Eric's, we got a trio of RX-7 coming up here. This is Eric's. It's a 10th anniversary edition FC. And Eric is the local rotary mechanic. Pretty much if you have issues with your rotary car, everybody takes it to Eric. He's in Chandler, I think. But he keeps this car very well maintained. And I haven't seen this car before. It's an FB, or it could be an SA, actually. It could be like a 79 or 80. A lot of different things going on. It's got two different sets of wheels. But you know, sometimes the condition doesn't matter. I love a car with the patina look to it. I mean, that's the good thing about this hobby is, there's different facets to it, and some people are more into cosmetics, others are more into the performance. Now this car, let me tell you about this car. This belonged to a friend of mine, Stuart All, who unfortunately passed away. And now they are looking to liquidate this car. And he was absolutely fastidious in the care of this car. I mean, if you look at it, it looks like maybe a 2-year-old car, but this is a 1980, and it is for sale. If you're interested in something like that, you can freeze the video and jot down that number. But I'm telling you, this thing is super clean. They pulled the motor, resealed everything. All the specifications were checked. You would be getting a great car. So this is another one of those cars that kind of fly under the radar. Toyota Soarer. And if I was a Toyota guy, I would definitely want one of these in my collection. Never sold over here in the States to my knowledge. It's JDM, right-hand drive. But it's a performance car. It's got a twin turbo on it. And it's kind of a mid-sized, almost luxury model. I could see it competing with the Mercedes or the BMWs of the day. Yeah, I just love the lines on these things. They handle well. You could drive one of these across the country. Very comfortable. So from here on out, it's going to be nothing but mini pickups. And there was a lot of them out here today. This is Ernie's Datsun. And I'll tell you, you gotta love an orange Datsun from the 70s. I follow him on Instagram, and they run the wheels off of this thing. I mean, they take this racing and just on really long drives across the country, just everywhere. I love the seat choice on here. You don't see that black and orange plaid very often. And, maybe one day he'll tell us. I mean, I know they have, it's not just a stock engine they run in this thing. They've got this thing, some high performance upgrades to it. But love the chrome split bumpers on the back. Just a neat little pickup. And here's another one. This is Cadence. So I don't know if they take this one racing like the orange one, but this one definitely seems to be more cosmetically upgraded. Just seems like the paint's a little nicer, the interior is more of a show quality. Very well sorted little mini pickup. Datsun. It's a king cab. I think it's a 620 king cab, if I'm not mistaken. You know, that's the good thing about these classic Japanese car meetups, is where else are you going to see all these different vintage Japanese built cars in one place like this? I mean, from the Soar to the Starion, the Datsun pickups, the Roadsters, the RX-7s, all in one place. And we're gonna keep going here with a pair of Repus, the rotary engine pickup. And this one is boosted. I'm pretty sure they're running a 13B off of a FC RX-7, which is not uncommon. These came with a 4-port 13B, and 50 years on, a lot of them are getting swapped out, understandably. And this is Tom's. I think he also has moved on to a 6-port 13B, the Weber, and he's had this truck for a long time. Also has a Suzuki RE5 rotary engine motorcycle he hauls around sometimes. But good to see these still on the road. Another one you really don't see a lot of anymore. And that's what we like to feature on this channel, is the obscure cars that you might not see anywhere else. You can see Mustangs and Camaros and Corvettes. They're out there everywhere, it seems. But if you're interested in some of this more obscure stuff, it's harder to find, and that's why we put it together, and I guess that's why you're watching, if you're watching. So thank you for watching. The snow continues to pour here, folks. I'm worried about getting home now. They may be closing the roads. But it's a little Toyota pickup, 22R fuel injected. I would think this is somewhere in the mid to late 90s. Very tidy interior. And again, another little mini pickup out here today. And this is Scott's D21 4x4. Scott actually gave me a ride today to the show. I had a last minute change of plans. The car I was going to bring, I decided I didn't want to risk it. And this thing is super nice. I mean, we were on the freeway and there was zero wind noise in this. It was just cruising along 85. He's put a lot of money into this truck, and it drives exceptionally well. I didn't realize these things could cruise that well, a 4x4 like that, but it sure did. I was impressed. Well, folks, that's going to be it for the roundup. I want to wish all of you a very healthy and prosperous new year. And thanks for tuning in. And stay safe over the rest of this holidays, and we'll see you next year. Take care, everybody.